for anybody in the Conservative caucus to think that there's some kind of Bloc Québécois NDP cabal. We've been accused of a lot of things. I don't know that we've ever been accused of that. So if you can't find a willing partner in either of the other opposition parties, then you're on your own. Pure and simple. You know, the stuff that I see online and I hear about it in my own committee in ethics, the vitriol and abuse and the you know, fortunately for me, I mean, I'm from Hamilton, so we got thick skin. But I'll tell you, if for the people that are watching, if you have any other illusions that, you know, committees somehow ought to operate as though the Conservatives have a majority, that's not the case right now. These guys just don't want to work. I can't tell the future, but I can tell you right now that's not the case. They don't want to work in the summer. So I'm here to put the Conservative caucus on notice that if they want to, if consider it a notice of motion or a dilatory motion, Mr. Chair, have the chuckle. But I promise you this: if you guys want to use your powers arbitrarily to call meetings without consulting with any of the other parties, it's going to get adjourned. It's going to get adjourned because we can count. We can count the votes in the room, and this is still a minority situation. So that's why I came in here fired up today. Kelly, I got a lot of respect for you, my friend, and I know that you just take. I know that you take. I know that you take your orders from the leadership like the rest of your caucus. I get it. Point of order. But at the end of the day,
point of order. Yeah,
Mr. Genuis.
Yeah, the member is now disparaging the chair and his.
Not at all. I just said I have respect for him.
Yeah.
Let the Hansard show I have respect for.
Yeah. Let the Hansard show that you said I have respect for you, and you don't fulfill the functions of the chair properly. You take orders from somewhere else. That is not respect.
Not a point of order.
That is no. It is a point of order. The standing orders have established rules around decorum, and that's a violation of that decorum.
Kelly, I apologize.
That's fine. Can you continue?
Yeah, I know that after me it's going to be your guys, so I'm going to get everything.
Oh, sorry.
Rappel au règlement.
Madame.
Point of order. If we were 7 or 8 francophones around the table all talking together simultaneously and 2 anglophones because nobody could understand what was going on, this would never fly. And this is what I've been putting up with for the last 15 minutes. So
how is this a French thing?
I have the courtesy of putting up your hand if you're going to intervene and quit cutting in. It'll be a lot easier for you, and it'll be a lot easier for us, and for anybody who may be listening, or who are witnesses or audience here in the room. Thank you.
My apologies. Mr. Chair, I do have a question while I have the floor about our resources. How long do we have resources for?
6:30. Till
6:30? Okay. I'm going to say at this moment, I'm going to move to suspend this meeting. Thank you. Why?
It's not a motion.
Mr. Genuis, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I did want to start by making a comment with respect to the rules of committees and how committees abide by the rules. And Mr. Green and I actually first met at a debate hosted by the Catholic Archdiocese of Toronto. So I think he'll appreciate if he did sufficient prep for that debate. Reading this section from the great play A Man for All Seasons about St. Thomas More, in which William Roper, Thomas More's rather eccentric son-in-law, says to the future saint, "So now you give the devil the benefit of law," to which Thomas More replies, "Yes, what would you do, cut a great road through the law to get after the devil?" To which Roper replies, "Yes, I'd cut down every law in England to do that." To which More famously replies, "Oh, and when the last law was down and the devil turned around on you, where would you hide, Roper, the laws all being flat? This country is planted thick with laws from coast to coast, man's laws, not God's, and if you cut them down and you're just the man to do it, do you really think you could stand upright in the winds that would blow? Yes, I'd give the devil benefit of law for my own safety's sake." An important reflection. I hope hope for members as they consider whether or not it is wise and judicious to show shameless disregard for the long-established rules of parliamentary committees simply in order to achieve the objectives that they want. Members who think that overruling those rules through constant challenges to the chair is going to be in their long-term interests are fooling themselves. They should understand that adherence to the rules, be they certainly man's rules and not God's, to quote the play, nonetheless is what preserves us in our roles as members of Parliament and our ability to fulfill our functions. Mr. Chair, where are we right now? We have Minister Anand, who I don't always agree with, but I certainly appreciate being able to ask questions to, a very busy minister, as all ministers are, who has come before this committee to answer questions for merely 1 hour, and I would have hoped we would have had the opportunity to ask questions about the work she is doing as Minister of the Treasury Board. And instead of allowing those questions to proceed, we have a member of the NDP who is on a crusade to get parliamentary committees to work as little as possible. If anyone wants to know what are the animating causes that Mr. Green is excited about.
Sorry, Mr. Genuis, let me interrupt for a second,
I'll sit
please.
back.
Mr. Kuzmirchuk.
If I can just ask him to lower his voice and volume and step away from the microphone. We want to look after our interpreters and translators.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
appreciate Mr. Kuzmirchuk, but we said before, if there is an issue, whether it's too close, too loud, microphone or earpiece too close, the translators will let the clerk know and then we will interrupt.
We just don't want to repeat, Mr. Chair, of what happened in the House, so we're very
That
sensitive
was
to
a
that.
completely different situation, but I appreciate that, Mr. Kuzmirchuk. Go ahead, Mr. Genuis.
Thank you, Chair. And if there were any problems with the sound, I'm happy to start from the top. Is there any? Okay? I have assurance from my francophone colleague here that it's not necessary for me to start from the top. So I'll continue. If the people of Hamilton would like to know, what are the animating causes for Mr. Green? What are the things that he gets up in the morning thinking about when he decides which issues to prioritize? I know some members come to Parliament and they think they want to focus on economic issues. Some members come to Parliament and they want to focus on social programs. Some members come to Parliament wanting to focus on foreign policy issues. Mr. Green comes to Parliament and he thinks, how can I create a situation in which members of Parliament have to work less? He is going from committee to committee. This isn't even his regular committee. He's not a regular member of OGGO. He is going from committee to committee, moving motions designed to reduce the workload of members of Parliament. This is his mission. This is what has brought him here, Mr. Speaker. He has come to Parliament in order to reduce the workload of members of Parliament. He is putting forward motions at committee saying that whatever happens, whatever the circumstances, chairs cannot
I'm going to
convene
interrupt
meetings.
for a sec. I'm hearing lots of chatter back and forth. Can we please, Mr. Genuis has the floor. Let's just leave that with him, please.
Thank you, Chair. His motions are proposing that whatever happens this summer, whatever the circumstances, that committees cannot be brought back to do their jobs over the summer. I can tell you, I think that Canadians would expect something very different. Canadians would like to see members of Parliament working hard through the summer. Yes, going to constituency events, but
Rappel
also
au
being
règlement, s'il
prepared.
vous plaît, Monsieur le Président.
Well, what now?
Sorry, Mrs. Vigneault.
Je vous...
Well, thank you for giving me the floor for a moment. I find this very offensive to hear a member of Parliament indicate that another member of Parliament doesn't want to work. It's very insulting for this
That's not a
colleague.
point of order.
Whereas he's saying expressly that, those weeks for constitutional work is still work.
7
No.
weeks. 7 weeks.
Or
isn't it 8?
My conscription, my writings people, they know I'm working.
No, it's 10 weeks.
Doesn't matter. I will not accept that anybody will say I don't work in the summer.
For 10 weeks.
The point, Mr. Genuis.
You get off.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Look, with great respect, I would just say there's more virtue in telling the truth than in being offended. This member, Mr. Green, has it is a matter of public record, gone from committee to committee, proposing the same motion. It is a motion to say that parliamentary committees cannot convene over the summer. And we do not support this. We believe that the work of Parliament should continue.
Mr. Green, please. When you have the floor, you can speak. But please, okay, Mr. Green. I'm tired of the talking over. There's too much disorder here. I'm adjourning.
Wow.